academic achievements in a graduating class. As the years have gone by, however, I have come to the conclusion that maybe the valedictorian should be picked for more than just his or her academic achievements. That the valedictorian is not only someone who strives for the highest in academia, but is also someone who is a leader within the school and participates in bettering our community. After all, who wants to be sent off with a speech written by somebody that nobody knows? Well, that's one worry that nobody here today has to deal with, because David is everything that I've just described and more. David is known for being a math genius, track star, and an all-around good person, whose personality shines once his deceptively shy exterior is shed. Flying through all the high-level math courses this school had to offer, David took his education beyond the four walls of this institution, as he pushed himself to enhance his education to the furthest degree possible. He is well known for his success as a runner, participating in cross-country as well as winter and spring track all 4 years of high school. He was selected and served as captain of all three during this final year, earning wins both individually and as part of his relay team. But what some people might not know about David is that beneath the quiet and calm he always seems to exude, he has a sense of humor and creativity that filled our AP English classroom this year with more than a few laughs as he participated in a production of Hamlet in 5 minutes and a reenactment of Oedipus Rex. Let's just say that no class was more excited to be assigned a project if it meant that another one of David's videos was going to be an end result. Needless to say, David's plate these past 4 years has been more than full, but while doing all of this, he has also managed to gain the respect and love of most, if not all, of the people that make up the tight-knit community of this school. So, it is with joy and pride that I present to you the valedictorian of the class of 2012, David Friedman.
Good afternoon, school committee members, Superintendent White, district administrators, Mr. Duvall, Mr. Parker, faculty and staff, parents, family, friends, neighbors, and my classmates, the class of 2012. Even though we're not sitting on a bench together, waiting for the next bus out of Greenbow, Alabama, I'm still going to make you listen to my story. I recently watched Forrest Gump. It may not seem like a philosophical movie, but it still has a lot of meaning we can take away as we move on. Forrest has a life of experiences that only us can dream of. Elvis danced in his bedroom. Presidents gave him medals. He got a Purple Heart. He founded Bubba Gump, an enormously successful shrimping company. All this from a man who was described by the family doctor to be mentally challenged. So why was Forrest able to be so successful in our eyes? The first reason for his success was Forrest's inability to recognize limitations. The bullies are coming at him. He is waddling away in his leg braces, stiff-legged and barely able to walk. Jenny shouts, "Run, Forrest, run." And he does. He runs so fast his braces shatter. He is free to run, leaving the bullies in his dust. With legs like his, Forrest should have never run a step. Because he didn't understand this, he outran the bullies, and everybody else. Labeled mentally deficient, Forrest clearly lacked the mental capacity to found a major corporation, and yet, he did. Not only is Forrest naive to his own limitations, he also fails to see limitations in others. Bubba was even more mentally challenged than Forrest, making him look like a genius. But Forrest never doubted Bubba's dream of running a shrimping company. To Forrest, Forrest, it wasn't just a dream. Since it was real to Bubba, it was real to Forrest. Lieutenant Dan had no legs. Who ever heard of a legless first mate on a ship? But that didn't worry Forrest. He never doubted Lieutenant Dan for a second. Forrest never saw the limitations, neither Bubba or Lieutenant Dan, and thus Bubba Gump Shrimp was born, and it was enormously successful. Unlike Forrest, we know our limitations, but we have a choice. We can focus on our limitations, or we can refuse to let them stop us. We can focus how we are going to fail the next math test, or we can ace it. We can fear to drop the ball, or we can catch the winning touchdown. We can fear hitting the wrong notes, or we can perfect the solo. Forget your limitations. Free yourself, and let us watch you soar. In a similar way, Forrest was unable to see the bad in others. Whether her best friend or complete strangers, he saw the good in them. Whether a tiny speck or a boulder, he let it outshine their faults. Jenny was Forrest's best friend in his earliest memories. She was the only one besides his mom who ever loved him. But as time went on, she left for college. She turned to drugs and sex. To Forrest, though, she was still childhood Jenny. Because he could never see the bad in her, she kept him going. She was his touchstone. Knowing that she was out there was enough. Lieutenant Dan couldn't stand Forrest. He was irritated by his naivete from the start. Yet Forrest idolized and adored him. When Forrest found Dan in the middle of Vietnam with his legs blown off, Dan begged Forrest to leave him there, that there was no point in living. Forrest ignored him, put him on his shoulder, and ran off. Even after Dan lost both his legs and became a miserable, womanizing alcoholic, Forrest still saw the good in him. Forrest saw the good in Jenny, who grounded him and inspired him to run, and in Dan, who became his first mate and co-owner of Bubba Gump Shrimp. Both of these people had major flaws, but Forrest overlooked these failings, and Jenny and Dan helped him reach the success he found. If we always look for the good in people, we will find it. They will help us to be the best we can be. If we focus on the flaws of others, we will miss the opportunities they offer us. Behind the scenes, Forrest's mom was another key to his success. She devoted her life to him. She made his first steps possible. She confronted teachers, doctors, and anybody else who stood in his way. She was a key to his success, most of all because she believed in him. We all have these people. We have parents, teachers, grandparents, godparents, and friends who stand behind us. As we move on next year, we will find professors, roommates, and mentors who will also believe in us, appreciate them, and be able to utilize them. They are one of the most valuable resources we have. Also, be sure to do the same for others. In some manner, many of Forrest's achievements related to running. It was his passion, and a common thread throughout his life. Once the braces flew off, running enhanced Forrest's life in many ways. Because he was different, Forrest was bullied by a lot of kids. His legs gave him the power to free himself. While he was running, nobody and nothing could touch him. He carried this over to the football field, where again nobody could touch him. As soon as the football was in Forrest's hands, a touchdown surely followed. In Vietnam, Forrest used his legs to carry 7 of his comrades to safety. Now, instead of freeing himself, he was rescuing others. Forrest used his passion in ways that he could have never envisioned. His passion allowed him to escape bullies, become an All-American football player, and earn a Purple Heart. Follow your passion. You never know where it might take you. Whether it's to the All-Massachusetts hockey team, to being an Eagle Scout, or to gold medals on the gymnastics floor. Your passions are certain to be a driving force in your life. In addition to providing tangible rewards, your passions will enrich your life and give your life a sense of meaning. Clearly, Forrest had a life full of experiences anyone would dream of, and yet he didn't fully realize it. To Forrest, Elvis was just the handsome young man who called himself the King. He didn't understand the significance of this encounter. When he played in the ping pong tournament, he never understood that he helped men sign to American relationships. To him, it was just another game. And when asked about being in the White House, Forrest told the president that he just had to use the bathroom. So, if Elvis stays in your bedroom, make sure you know about it and appreciate it. Recognize those moments in your life. Fully live them. This is one of those moments. Don't just let it pass you by. Make sure you live it and make it a memory. We are not all going to get the Forrest Gump experience, but we should all make these events in our lives important. And I couldn't fit this part in, but it's my favorite part of the whole movie. Surrounded by a mob of white men intent on killing a young black girl, Forrest steps out to pick up a book she has dropped. as if it's nothing. This is the beauty of Forrest Gump. So, class of 2012, if I had one piece of advice to give you, it would be to rewatch Forrest Gump. Congratulations, and you have my best wishes. I know that every one of us has the ability to make a difference in this world.